Moving in.
Yep, you're good. And we are live.
I might want to tell my eyes that I'm awake.
Good morning.
Okay.
Feels like forever.
That reminded me of what
sat here.
thing I was thinking of. Angry Birds or Angry Gingers. Something like that.
I'm going to move your mouse. It's on my nose.
Yeah.
Oh, don't hit the X button. There we go.
Yeah. It's flying. Well, yeah, they can't see it.
I was just, when I see my face, it looked like it was picking my nose.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Chop. I have bowling to do. So do we. We have to go, or we're doing a makeup post bowling for being down in a tournament last weekend. So, or different tournaments last weekend even. So.
Morning, Steve.
Yeah, I don't think it went well for either one of us.
No, I had a miserable weekend.
We got to be in Wichita and you got to be in Springfield though. So that's always a fun time, no matter what tournament you're bowling, being in Wichita, Kansas City, or Springfield.
Both cities are fun. Yeah. I enjoy Wichita more though, to be honest with you.
That's just because you guys don't spend an extra few days in Branson around Springfield.
That's true.
That's where the real enjoyment comes from.
We talked about
no carpet doesn't hold the dog hair down anymore though. Normally the dog hair hits the ground and gets stuck on the carpet, and now it just kind of, if we open a window,
Shall we introduce our coffee this morning?
Yeah, we're having coffee this morning. That says coffee. See?
Coffee porter.
It says,
I can kind of turn it a little bit. Harpoon,
coffee.
Duncan.
Because coffee.
Exactly.
Oh.
Listening while on my way to pick up a Widow Sass.
Oh, but it says hammer on it. Why would you do that? That's okay. I like my taboo. I like all of my taboos. Had that same core. And that actually will fit well with the theme.
Right.
With the, so I've had a lot of interesting internet discussions, mostly Facebook, of course, but a lot of interesting Facebook discussions that if you're a part of any bowling groups on Facebook, you find yourself into, and yeah, the gas mask core is amazing. I would, if I was them, I'd continue making Black Widows till the end of time. There's no reason to ever discontinue that line.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I mean, it's like the IQs. You just keep making them.
I can't tell you I've ever done anything with the gas mask core.
Yeah, and we can actually start there with innovation.
There you go.
But anyway, so there's this brewery called Harpoon Brewery, and I'd never heard of it before, but we were walking through the liquor store the other day and just saw these, and it was Dunkin' Donuts beers. I'm like, well, that sounds like that really low rent, cheap stuff that you okay,
slap the name on it.
Donut beers, yeah, let's walk away from this. But it was $20 for a case, and so that had me a little intrigued. I'm like, well, if it was what I think it was, it'd be like $10 for the case. But I'm like, this is kind of expensive it's not necessarily expensive for a 12-pack of something, but it wasn't cheap. So
maybe it's good. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Yeah.
So I'm like, well, and Angel kind of talked me into it. She's like, well, it sounds okay. And I'm like, I mean, the coffee porter sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Boston cream stout, I can at least try that.
You can live with that, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was a pumpkin beer in there, and I'm like, it's hard to screw up pumpkin beer.
Jelly donut.
And then the jelly donut IPA. And I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of IPAs. I've been coming around recently here, all the ones that we've been trying here on the stream.
Maybe we'll turn you into a fan yet.
We're starting with coffee.
Happy to be back. Sorry for my absence. I have to go back to work.
Yeah, the day job and stuff. So I've got Fridays off anyway because we travel and work 410s, and so I just have Fridays off, period. But he's got next Friday off. James is coming back into town for the ER Easter tournaments over the weekend, and so we're going to do all three of us at some point on Friday. I don't know. It might be from here. It might be from my brother's brewery because James hadn't had the food there yet, and he can eat most of it, or he can eat some of it. They have salads and wings.
Yeah.
I think I remember him being like a boneless wing guy, which is kind of weird. We might have to fix that, but...
Oh,
okay. I have a Pepsi tournament in a couple hours. And that sounds painful.
And I'm shifting bricks mentally. Any tips?
Yeah. Any tips? Well, you have to remember that no matter what you're doing, you can always get experience from it. That's what normally happens to people is Mark Birkenbein told me one time, he said, you have to bowl league until it feels like practice, and then you have to bowl tournaments until it feels like league.
Yeah,
and league, I mean, it's you want to do well, and you're frustrated if you don't do well, but you're not nervous bowling league.
No.
Unless you're on, I mean, if you're on the front nine or something, it doesn't matter where you're at. You know, you always get a little excited for shooting a big score. But as far as just the bowling to begin with, you have to go in there and you have to try to make things as simple as possible. And that's the best thing to do, is instead of trying to complicate things and think, oh, well, I didn't strike for 2 frames, maybe I need a different ball, or maybe I need to move, or whatever else. You need to kind of, you know, stick with your process. If you think you need to do something, just go on ahead and do it, because you don't want to do the other thing is, well, I'm not sure that was the greatest shot, or I'm not sure whatever. Well, if you're not comfortable with a certain ball, you're probably not going to execute well. So the best thing that you can do is treat it like league. And that's basically what he meant by that, is when you're going out and practicing, everybody always, oh, I had this huge set practicing, or I always shoot big scores in practice, but I suck in league. Well, in practice, you can go, you know, you can just throw shots back to back to back to back. So if you screw something up, you can fix on the very next shot 30 seconds later. But once you get in, then people will, well, I practice well and I really want to bowl well in league. And so they get themselves all psyched up for league, and then it won't go well. And then they'll have issues. And then that just carries over to tournaments, because you're thinking, oh gosh, well, I'm in an unfamiliar place, and, you know, it's a tournament. I have to bowl well, you know, I have to, and a lot at the adult level, it's kind of like, well, I have money invested in this. I have to win money from something. And that,
putting money on the line changes everything. So
yeah, it does. But you have to just think that the hard thing in youth too is that it's a limited amount of time. I mean, you only have so many Pepsi tournaments to bowl. You only have so many junior gold tournaments to bowl. You only have, you know, so it's a little bit different deal. Up in the adults, it's like, you know, somebody, well, yeah, I had a bad year in Tulsa, I'll get it next year. I think, well, a year's a long way away. But then it kind of feels like the more times you go, it's like it feels like it's quicker and quicker, and you're there.
It just blinks and it's here. You know, we missed Springfield like last year because of the shutdown, and it feels like it just, bam, here it was again. So,
yeah. I was going to say, didn't even really notice not going there, and still, you know, walk in and feel just like you always have, because we've been there, you know, a dozen times.
I mean, you get the feeling of, it feels like I haven't been here in 2 years, but at the same time, it feels like you were just there yesterday.
Yeah. So I tell my dental hygienist all the time, it's like, gosh, it's been 6 months, but it just, I was just here last week, I swear. Why? What? Huh? Continue? What did I do? Did you put up something in the...
People are watching us, by the way.
Chimkin Nuggers?
A little awkward.
Huh? Boneless wings? Yeah, okay. So it's somebody else that does boneless wings. Is it... No, I remember Anthony used to do boneless wings.
It's me.
What?
It is me.
No, it's you?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is me.
It's actually a lot of people.
I think Bruce does boneless too, though.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
and so does
I don't understand.
I can eat bone in. I can eat it. It's just not my favorite.
Well, and see, I used to do boneless wings.
I don't care for the little nugget ones because there's so much breading and not much chicken.
Yeah,
so it depends on.
Well, they don't
who
taste,
does it.
the meat tastes completely different too.
Yeah. So go ahead and roast me. Yes, I am a
Yeah.
boneless wing guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not the
Well, what are
roasted.
you, the kids'
It's not the roasted James. It's the roast of
Do I get a
roasted
toy?
Jonathan this morning.
Let's go. Just go have fun bowling with you. I need to stress
Mm.
over my term. Exactly.
Yeah.
But that what Birkenbein told you, that's a great mentality to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tough to shift that mentality to that,
Yeah.
but that's fantastic actually.
Yeah, you have to bowl in a tournament just like you're bowling a league, and it can't matter that. You have to stay focused and you have to stay on top of things. And I've kind of gotten myself in trouble where I'll just, you know, get to having a couple drinks and acting more like it's league, and it's like, well, holy crap, I'm in a tournament. I'm supposed to, you know, we need to pay a little bit more attention than this. But if nothing else, youth is a good, you know, stepping stone experience pool, especially with all the tournaments you have and all the pressure you have that early. You know, it's a good way to build a bunch of experience. And that's the biggest thing, is that if you're going into a tournament, even if you don't do well, I mean, the pros, there's a bunch of them. You think that, oh, Jason Belmonte makes every cut. Well, he doesn't.
No.
There was
He showed he's human this last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and there was when they had the U.S. Open in Wichita in 2018, the one that I got to go to, his family surprised him and flew in from Australia, and he missed the cut.
Ouch.
So it's not like,
Yeah, that
you
hurts.
know, the pros
Yeah.
have good days all the time. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
Do you have
And
that hardware?
no,
Can you hardwire now?
probably not.
Are we buffering?
No, it should be just fine because I don't have this doesn't take a whole bunch of stuff, and so I got tired of getting all the cords out.
By the way, we are not having camera issues though.
Yeah, we're not having camera issues yet. I think it's the light. There's a bunch of light.
So
So
it keeps buffering on mine, but I don't
Huh?
know if it's my phone.
Is it buffering?
I'm
on
pretty
there?
sure it's your phone. Otherwise, it would be.
We have
Yeah.
a crowd over here, so and they're staring at us.
Okay, well, mine's not doing well.
So yeah. So yeah, it's your second to last Pepsi tournament, but just go in there. You always have to have the attitude that you're the person to beat,
Yep.
even if you know that you're not, because that just kind of relaxes you, and it doesn't. You're not walking and saying, "Oh, and so-and-so's here, and so-and-so's here," and you're not psyching yourself out that way to begin with. And then you always the other is you just. You know, my thing is, I'm like, well, do I need to make a move? Do I need to switch balls or whatever else? Or do I just need to make a better shot? And my thing is I always kind of default to making a better shot. But if you're putting yourself in a phone booth, you tighten yourself up, you make it that much harder to throw a quality shot
Right.
because you're trying to hit that instead of hitting that. And so it's much
And
more important.
you get into placing the ball instead of just throwing it.
Yeah, it's
And it
much
makes
more important
stuff. Yep.
to bowl comfortable and bowl loose. If you think you need to do something, just go on ahead and do it, because what's the alternative? There's a lot of times
Yep.
where, you know, just like we were bowling Friday night and I threw that ball I don't throw a whole lot, and I'd taken all my tape out, the Marvel Max Force. I'd taken all my tape out the weekend before because somehow, I mean, it was hot in Wichita and my hand swelled up, and which doesn't normally happen. And so I took a bunch of tape out. Well, this ball I needed to put some tape back in it. And the first couple frames, I'm like, I can make it work. I don't want to stop and put some freaking tape in. It's close enough and
Right.
whatever else. And then I tugged the crap out of it, and then I left a Greek church and whatever else. I'm sitting there yelling because I'm like, it was a piece of tape.
Yeah.
You know, if you put a piece of tape in, it's going to be all right. And so I struggled with it still. I put one piece of tape in, and then I struck, and I let the flat 7, and then I'm like, just make it comfortable.
Yep.
Just make it comfortable. And as soon as I made it comfortable, I had the next 5 or something, ended up shooting 220 and 690 on the night. And 690 still sucks on a house shot for a lefty, but I digress.
You can just throw it like I am right now.
But anyway, yeah, you always make sure that I'm not necessarily make sure that you have fun. Make sure that you have, because you don't really go to tournaments to have fun. You go practicing to practice for stuff. You go to league to have fun, and you want to make sure that you're not a bundle of nerves and you're like
Yes.
Bruce pissed all the time.
Sorry if you're watching.
Yeah, definitely not sorry if you're watching. You don't want to get Bruce pissed. But at the same time, you can't take it so serious that you're just a wreck. So you got to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
Whatever
act,
it is that loosens you up. I mean,
Yeah, act like you're in.
well,
Not like Bruce loosened you up,
Yeah.
but you have to act like you're in control of the situation. You have to
Yeah.
act like that you're the one to beat. You have to go in there with confidence and make moves confidently, because if you don't and you hang on and wait for too long, the alternative is, 9 spare is a lot better than S63.
Facts.
Is something that
Yes,
I've
it
always said. It's like, if you're worried about something, you're worried about, well, I don't know what's going to happen here. You make your best educated guess and you go for it. And if it doesn't work out, it's not going to be any worse than where you're at, because if you're thinking that you need to make a move in the first place,
Yes.
that means that things aren't peachy.
Well, and you're sparing. So
Yeah,
spares
yeah.
are huge.
Yeah, like I say, and
Especially you go ball a tournament with an 8-game block. Spares are
Mhm.
huge. So when you're making your spares, you're giving yourself time to figure out what you need to do.
Yeah. All right.
You need to find the balance. Making that
On my
change.
way to practice. So anyway, yes, that was a good question for everybody.
Oh, it was me. I shot
What's
6
up, Nick?
and a half shot. That's a bad day. You're doing okay.
Yeah.
He's become the kind of a
Yeah.
lefty machine over here.
Yeah. I'm sick of shooting 690 though. It happens all the time now. That's all I shoot. Yeah, 690
All I
to 690 to 7-0. All right. To paraphrase Mo Pinnell, do you really care about the RG diff and intermediate diff of an undrilled ball? Is there a way for a bowler to find the RG diff and intermediate diff of the drilled balls in their arsenal? Not really, but you can go back and look. If you if you look at a lot of Mo's stuff, they do the calculations on this stuff. And then if you watch, once again, Storm's pin buffer layout system, when they're talking about some of that stuff, they will give you, pin up versus pin down, what that actually does to the core. So unless you get into really exotic layouts, generally pin up is going to lower the RG and raise the differential. Pin down is going to raise the RG and lower the differential. And it's not going to be a bunch. You're not going to take a high road and turn it into an IQ tour with a layout. It's just not going to happen. And the weaker the core is, the less the layout matters, because if you have something like people are always asking me how to drill their urethane ball. It's like, well, Nick Brown actually put up something about a pitch purple. He had a pin up versus pin down, and he was telling everybody, it's like, well, number one, urethane isn't a very dynamic reaction to begin with.
No. Yeah,
so
right.
Extra flare is not going to help out a urethane ball very much anyway. But urethane balls most of the time have weaker cores, because you're not trying to get a urethane ball to cover boards. You're trying to get it to react early and walk into the pocket. Urethane's all about control. And so they build them for that. So you have something like a pitch black that's 257.023 or something like that. There's not enough core there to really change much with a layout. So yeah, buffalo don't have wings and chicken don't have fingers. Heck yeah, I can get down with that.
Sorry. I love this.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm the weird guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, we can talk about wings, but we need to talk about some frog legs.
You lost me there.
Man.
You are literally the only one in the room that cares.
No, we're going to have to get you down to Branson sometime, and we're going to go to, Ray would love the little stuff. They have a whole children's park section in Silver Dollar City.
Yes. Is it used to be the Nickelodeon area?
Something like that.
Yeah, she's never been to Silver Dollar City. I've been there many times.
Oh man,
I love Branson.
When's the last time you went to Silver Dollar City?
Oh, it's been since before her. So.
Oh man.
Over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Dear. Yeah, I took like a 10-year break.
Yeah.
And we went down for our anniversary. I hadn't been there 10, 12 years or whatever.
Well, we're gonna plan at the brewery tonight, or today. So.
I cried on the way down there because it had changed so much.
But we're gonna I have to take you to Lambert's for some frog legs, because frog legs taste like fish chicken. So if you take a chicken wing and you make it taste a little bit like fish and like a white fish, like a tilapia or something like that, it's a little bit more tender.
Fish chicken.
Yeah, fish chicken.
Have you ever had gator?
Yes, I've had gator bites. I haven't had like little fried, and of course everything fried tastes delicious.
The only time I had is when we were bowling nationals in Baton Rouge, and of course down in Cajun country down there.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. It was kind of like a chewier chicken, maybe.
Yeah.
That sound about right? Yeah. It's pretty good though.
So. Yeah, man. Frog legs that you don't even understand until you've had it. You can't. My dad, I've had to tried to get my dad to try them, but he just can't get over the fact that they're frog legs.
Yeah.
I got over it real quick once I tasted some heckin' frog legs. All right.
Sorry.
Chickens don't have nuggets either. Wendy said so years ago. Wendy's just correct. Oh, we need to get the Boston cream.
Boston cream. Let's say I put it in the fridge there. Frog legs are amazing.
Yeah. There's somebody who gets it. All right.
About to bowl the Masters this week. On my way to Reno now. Good luck.
Sweet.
Shoot some big scores.
Do you like the Hustle PBR and what type shot you'd use? The Hustle PBR was a little bit too much ball and a little bit too early for me to use it very often. Yeah, I'm almost there.
I'll wait till you're ready.
He talks more than he drinks.
I was just going to say that. I spent all this time.
You know, going back and watching all the stuff since I haven't been here, the co-host line.
Yeah.
It's kind of right here.
See, I'm trying to lean forward.
See, I need a pillow so that I can just kind of get
loose your seat where you can put you in the massage chair.
There you go, even better. Get a massage and talk to you.
All right. So yeah, the PBR is actually stronger than a lot of people give it credit for. We are getting some Hustle pinks, overseas Hustle pinks, polished PBRs
Really?
basically, but they're pink.
Yeah.
So that's all that really matters.
Pink's good though.
Yeah. I tend to give a ball like 4 frames, feeling like I threw it bad before switching and realizing later I should have done it sooner, but I'm starting to realize on a house shot, the right ball in the right spot will give you the misroom to not. Yes. And this is the thing that people don't understand partially about the pros. People don't, number one, realize how good the pros are to begin with, but they also don't realize that the pros are so good because number one, they are not nervous about, they've bowled enough. And they, again, bowl tournaments until they feel like league. Well, they feel like they're walking in with their league buddies, and obviously they're paying $400 or $500, but to a pro, that's nothing because Brad will walk into our local sweepers and hit the all-in button for like $1,000,
if not more.
Yeah, and just not even think about it because someday, like the Midnight Bowler Society thing,
$1,000
in,
in, 2 balls.
Yeah,
2 balls.
$1,000 entry, 2 balls. Well, he made the most out of anybody at that last one.
He did. He actually had a huge day.
$5,500 or $6,000. So
and he didn't even win the tournament.
Yeah.
The overall, he didn't have the overall. It was he just won a few games and got high.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So
I mean, paid what $2,500 a game or something stupid like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was stupid.
So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Walks in, drops $1,000, and most people think, "Oh my God, $1,000." James lost $1,000 to Kyle Troom. But sometimes you gotta, and that's what we were watching at Swiss Trios a couple of years ago when Brent Bowers and Nick Pate went at it, and that's where I really realized that they bet the first game was like $500.
Oh, okay, they were going okay.
Then they bet $1,000, then it was $1,800 on one game, and when guys are putting down that kind of money.
People are gonna watch too.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is I couldn't even imagine putting down. I put a few $100s in brackets, and I'm like, well, crap, it just don't completely suck.
Here we go.
And I haven't even really put a whole lot of money in brackets since I've been lefty either, because I'm like, okay, well, we can get into there and have a bad day, and
I
on
the Springfield, put it in because the scores are low.
Yep. Springfield brackets are definitely being played. But that's the thing is that the pros are good because number one, they're comfortable, they're confident, and they try to find the most misroom on the lane. They try to make it as comfortable as possible. And so part of how good they are is not just the execution, it's the stuff behind the scenes that they're not trying to line up and be abstract and make the perfect shot. They're trying to find the sweet spot on the lane and just abuse the crap out of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm ready.
You're good. I'll go ahead and just have this.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Ooh. Did you also say, like on a house shot, that it's a lot easier to play an area than so much?
Yeah. And we've talked about it a lot with Hirschman. When you're bowling on a house shot, it's a whole lot more important how you throw the ball than where you throw the ball. If you get it off your hand good and going in the right general direction, the results are going to work out more often than not. Now, when you're on a tougher shot, the area that you get it in is a little bit more important than how you throw it, because if you hit your spot on a sport shot, if you maybe dump a little bit or you don't quite get enough revs on it or something, you're still probably going to be pretty close to the pocket.
Maybe flat 10.
Unless it's a really awful shot. But yeah, again, a flat 10, it's one of those things, keeping it in the pocket is the most important thing on a tough pattern. On a house shot, how you throw it, getting it off your hand clean, getting it off your hand good, going in kind of generally the right direction. If you find the right spot on a house shot, and it was just like bowling at Southwest, it ended up the shot on the left side.
Not you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The comments you're ignoring.
Mm-hmm. I'm still working at the top. I'm up there on frog legs.
Eric has actually asked a couple times here, if you had to pick one ball for the rest, you'd only use the rest of your life, what would it be? I could probably tell you. I'm sorry, probably a promotion of these guys.
Yeah, promotion. The UC2 is creeping up, but I think the promotion is, I'm able to use that in more situations. There's some times here recently where the UC2 has just not been the ball. Most of the time it's been the ball. But the promotion, I can at least get to the pocket on anything.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is, I can make it to the pocket with that ball. So,
guessing they will sooner than later. I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, I will look like a midget on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm still shorter than you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Luke. It's gonna be Luke, me, James.
Yeah.
James is.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah,
Whoop.
we'll get you one of the high top chairs. We'll sit at the little chairs for the shorter tables. We'll get you one of the high top chairs from up top.
But if everybody sits on a bar stool, you're actually really close.
Oh, then we'll be good then.
Yeah.
Where you just tell me where to sit and.
No, I'm gonna have James should be here around noon or noon 30, and so I can talk to Adam and Melissa and see if we can get one of the high tops up front. And
Oh wow.
they'll probably it should be It tastes like a Boston cream donut, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think we're showing this one.
Yeah,
She's like, let me.
yeah. This is a Boston cream stout, and it tastes like a Boston cream donut.
It does.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
We have both of the wives are here,
Yeah.
spectating us as we are sitting here talking to you. So
Yeah, because we got to, again, we're making a league, and we might get the wife to get the stick out and the camera stick. Not the stick she beats me with.
say that.
Yeah, have the wife get the camera stick out, and then we'll.
That's another show.
She's
we'll
about to
shoot
get the
some.
Nerf gun.
I'm not
what she's
entirely
about to.
sure. I'm going to take the Marvel Max Force. Probably. I already had a captioning certification filed against me. I had a captioning complaint because somebody felt like one of my videos should have been captioned. Like it's a bowling video. You're watching a ball roll down a lane. It'll be okay.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, thanks
But-
for answering my question. I'm about to.
Anyway, yeah, Pate can bowl. Yeah, so can Brent Bowers, by the way, Mr. 899 down in Wichita. That was epic, and that was kind of the day that I realized that the money they don't. Action bowlers don't bowl for the money. The money is a device to add pressure
Oh yeah.
so that you
Yeah.
can get the buzz that you get off the
high
you know,
from bowling. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So
Seller peak ball.
yeah.
Truth Brito needs to add something extra time. Sure.
So yeah, I forgot where we were going, but I think we covered it mostly.
I think so.
Yeah, and James said up here, I threw it. Being able to honestly say I threw that far better than the result is huge and a good indicator you're doing something wrong. Develop that skill and help a ton. Yeah, I mean, if you can say that, if you can differentiate between when you're just getting bad breaks and when you're actually doing something wrong, I don't know how many people that I see, you know, if I leave like a stone 9 for me now, but a stone 8, I used to be able to tell when I was going to leave it because I'm like, God, that's too straight and it's not going to have time to actually drive. If you tug it just a little bit, you know it's going to hit the pocket, but it's going a little too straight. Sometimes you can see the 8-pin before it happens, or like a drive-by 9. You never want to leave them, but if you get the ball out a little bit quick and it starts up a little early,
yeah,
that's the problem. When James was here a couple weeks ago and I was throwing the Insight, it was too early. The ball reaction was really good, but it was a little too early, and so it was starting up too soon. And then I think I'm going to have to redo that a little bit because it's gotten further and further away from the Omega the longer I've thrown it. And James can tell you in here right now, you know, the first 5 games I threw it for the review or whatever. My baby Mistles.
The dog patrol.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Puggers.
What's up?
And you're filthy
Uh-oh.
because you're a filthy pig.
Hi.
I know,
There
Bear Dog.
it is.
I don't know how she always gets. Just look at the bottom of her. She gets just dirty as crap. She runs around and she's such a chubby pig.
She is staring
The
right.
way she
Yeah.
runs.
She's like, well, I don't recognize you.
I didn't get the death. I didn't get the death stare.
Yeah, we took them to Tar Waters yesterday. They did pretty good.
Good now.
But anyway, James can tell you that the Insight is, the more I throw it, I think I got faked out on the first 5 games and thought, well, this is basically an Omega. It's not basically an Omega. It's a lot closer to a physics or something than
Which ball game was it?
the Insight.
Inside. Okay.
That I originally
The
thought
Dr. Pepper
was,
smelly one.
I thought, well, this is basically an Omega.
That's right.
Why?
Let's just tell me that.
But it's
Yeah.
between an Omega and a physics. It's not quite as torquey as a physics but it's awful close. I mean, I think I actually have to change the ratings and kind of do a redo on it because it's
You can do that on
it's
your 2-month report card.
woken. Yeah, I can. I'm probably on my 2-month report card. I'm probably gonna flip the script. Very rarely does that happen, but this one, the longer I've thrown it, it's a whole lot stronger and a whole lot sharper than I gave it credit for, realistically. So, and James will tell you that too. It hooks.
Okay.
It does feel like an Omega for the first 40 feet, but once it hits friction, it's got Yeah, it definitely, and that's one thing I noticed to begin with is it does wind up a lot better from the Omega from deep, but from straighter angles, it controls the lane well, but it's still really strong. But it also punches more down lane than the Omega does. So
Mark, he most likely does leave it at box service. He likes lane shine. So
yep. All right. Gator tastes like chicken with the consistency of pork.
I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gator has that weird steak and chicken. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's kind of like a steak chicken.
Yeah, it's
Just
exactly
like
what it's
frog legs is fish chicken.
It was really, really good. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Amanda liked it too.
Yeah, making me hungry. Yeah, post something. And we'll have more pictures in the foodies section of our Discord server in the private section. I haven't
also
posted.
do the Snapchat for us.
Okay, yeah, Angel has a Snapchat for us too. What's that?
Panda Pack.
Panda Pack. So if you go to Snapchat, she does a Panda Pack Snapchat, and it's more of a whatever. There's all kinds of stuff.
I do our food.
Yeah, we just do all kinds of stuff. We have some adventures now. So, yep, about to bowl the Masters this week. Jeff Poston's going to be there. He flew from Detroit straight to
Reno.
yeah.
Ugh.
But see, and this is the thing is that Jeff wants to bowl the Masters. Jeff is an old school. He's a coach of one of the college teams in Ottawa here, the Ottawa Braves, that have gotten a lot better. Just the program started like 3 years ago, and he's already got them at a Panda Pack 300.
Yeah,
So-
he's got them. Excuse me. They're bowling really, really well, and they just finished 4th at NAIA Nationals. Does that sound right? 4th, which is they've come a long ways in 3 years.
Yeah, and they're making some noise on the national level legitimately. And Jeff Poston's the coach, but he's one of these guys that there are better technical coaches out there, but he is one of those guys that's just a gamer. He's going to teach the kids how to bowl, not just all the technical stuff and this and doing a bunch of weird drills and whatever else. He's going to teach them the mental strength to be able to bowl because he's an old school action guy.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter who he's bowling, even if he knows that they're way better than he is. It doesn't matter. And it's one of those things to where, he's friends with a lot of the pros, Sean Rash kind of namely, and several more of them, because he just kind of puts himself in there and he doesn't back down. He's confident. And yeah, these guys bowl at professional level and he doesn't. But he's still going to give it everything when he goes out. He's not going to be nervous walking into the Masters.
He was a successful high school coach too.
Yeah. And he's not going to psych himself out of anything. He's going to be there. He's going to be prepped to go. And that's going to give him pins above, his, technical ability or whatever, which is pretty good. but
you're walking
which is
confident,
pretty
though.
good anyway.
You
But
walk
yeah,
in confident. It's amazing what that can do.
yeah. When you walk in confident and you're ready to go, and if it's not your week, it's not your week, whatever. But he was on a team that's got they had a top 5 in team for nationals last, because he filled in for one of the guys with Russ Wilson and Jay Futrell.
Yeah,
and
they had a big year.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is
Yeah.
he shot 150 the first game team at nationals. He was just going, it's like, oh, you guys don't want me and whatever else, and you guys are normally finishing big, and like, no, we want you with us. And he shot 150 the first game, but then he went like 240 or something.
Yeah.
Shoot 650 or 660.
Yep. I did that at Springfield and
Yeah.
Douglas. 150, 240, 240.
But yeah, he didn't let the pressure of the moment over, and they ended up finishing like 4th or 5th in team that year, because Russ and Jay and all those guys are ridiculous
Yeah, they are.
too. That kind of helps.
Especially Russ.
Yeah.
That guy is just.
Yeah.
So they were in Wichita the same weekend we were.
Yeah.
We went, and Russ
Oh, okay.
shot 300 down there as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Literally just standing left, kind of angling his shoulders, just slow wheeling it.
Yeah, baby Jesus. All right. Oh wow. Yeah, I love to collect storm balls and just recently started. There's such a thing as too many bowling balls. Absolutely not. And yeah, Robert says, have you seen his cellar? Yeah. Yeah. Our basement is racks on racks on racks on racks.
We crossed this a long time ago.
Yeah.
We were
It's
behind on
bad.
the
We have a
comments.
problem. There's a lot worse problems to have.
We know we have
So-
a problem, so it's okay.
All right. Tonight's pattern is cheetah. Just play the gutter, I assume. Slow your roll.
Are you bowling at Ward Parkway?
Hold on. Yeah. James can attest to this. Tonight's pattern is cheetah. Just take urethane and play the gutter, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, James?
Bring the biggest balls you got in your bag.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. The live stream didn't start for me. Been sitting here 30 minutes to start. Interesting. Reload your, or yeah, if it didn't start, you can't.
What happened? Summer live stream didn't start for. Oh, yeah, been sitting there 30 minutes to start. So.
Yeah. I mean that. Hopefully that'll help.
Are you having issues on your end?
No.
Okay.
No. Sometimes you need to refresh your browser. For it to like catch up or do whatever. Sometimes I've had that where the live stream has started, but my feed that I'm watching won't even start, but the live stream's live and going, and
That'd be awkward.
yeah. So anyway, all right. So yeah, since we've been going for 30 minutes already and haven't talked about any hard truths. Hard truth, the COVID shutdown helped my bowling. I forgot a lot of my bad habits and replaced them with good ones. Yeah, and mental practice is a big thing. They say, envisioning the ball striking or whatever, not really. It's reinforcing the habits you need to reinforce. Like I did a lot of mental practice this last week because after I got done in Wichita, I realized the last several months, actually, the last couple months, I've been, really clawing up on it. And so I'm not feeling like I'm getting a good roll on the ball.
Right.
I feel like I'm grabbing it, dumping it. My accuracy's been all over the place. And so I did a lot of practice trying to reinforce, okay, stay soft with it, and just thinking and processing your way through the entire shot. And I still shot a couple of 690s this week, but I threw it better a couple times. I've developed, I developed this really weird tugging an arrow and a half thing every other shot, but I still don't know the name of the guy sitting next to Luke and what bowling balls does he throw. This is Jonathan.
Let's leave it a mystery.
Yeah, Jonathan has been my Rise and Grinds buddy for since it started. Yeah,
it's the very first
since it started.
You haven't done one before.
So Jonathan's a motive guy. He just got signed this year.
As of January 1. Yep.
So yep. See, James had to get in there, and James expecting that I'm not going to keep up with the comments.
Thanks, James.
So yeah.
I am the short guy of the group, so.
Yeah, and if we stream our post bowling later, that could be a lot of fun.
It could be also really bad.
Yeah. Angel might be throwing her depth charge. We found her a depth charge. Yes, hard truth. Yes, let's get into some hard truth.
That's actually a very good one there, John.
Yeah, money spent on coaching is better than money spent on equipment. We spend a lot of money on equipment, so we're not going to drill.
But I already paid money for
I got
a
a
coach.
phase flow though. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's true.
The balls came with the coach.
Mm.
And more than.
I'm going to slide away on that one. Just leave the awkward ginger face there. Anyway, it's hard truth.
She's not even drinking. We're the ones drinking.
I don't need the alcohol.
Yeah.
We've been through this.
Yeah.
And actually, I am.
I've seen my kid twice in the last 6
I have
months.
to.
And stuff now.
I watched
good.
there was something on Facebook last night, a little video where Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg were telling each other dad jokes and trying to get each other to laugh, and they had a little laugh
That would be
competition.
good.
One of them was, how do you catch a squirrel? Pull down your pants and show them your nuts.
I was gonna say I know there's something with nuts in here.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Robert says you made him turn red.
Who?
Yeah. Yeah, John Schaefer. I've seen Mike Shady twice in the last 6 months, and it's helped more than any ball. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Mike Shady has a 220 lifetime career average at nationals,
Pretty good.
and he's bowled like 25 times. So it's not just you show up and have a couple of good years. He's got a 220 average at nationals.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
He's the leading average guy at nationals.
Yeah.
He's got the highest career average of over like 20 years or something. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, seeing a good coach will help out a lot. And there's a lot of people that, and this is something that's a little back and forth that I kind of hedge on sometimes because not everybody wants to be a professional. There's a lot of people that just want to buy all the bowling balls that they can buy because it's fun, and then they go to league and they bowl terribly, but they have a couple pitchers and they have a good time. And so you have to find out sometimes whether somebody actually wants to get better or whether they're having fun just doing what they're doing. I remember that there was some guys, the Fort Riley guys, that would come over every once in a while, and then there was some guys. I had a group of guys from Seneca that would come down before they went to Springfield every single year. They'd always buy bowling balls, and they'd go out and practice, and they weren't very good, but it wasn't about being good or going to bowl the tournaments. There was there was a couple guys that came from Fort Riley.
Buy bowling balls.
Yeah, there's a military base at Fort Riley, and some of the guys drove up and got some stuff, and they dropped like $1,000 or something in the shop. And one of them, that was back when the Hammerflage spare ball was out.
Oh yeah.
And guy ordered a 15-pound, or he got a 15-pound Arson low flare, and then an 11-pound Hammerflage. And I'm like, what are we even doing and talking about? He's like, well, I like to throw with no thumb at my spare balls. My spare. I like to no thumb them because he used to use house balls.
Is it so they can get around it more, or?
No, it's just so he can. He had one ball, and because the hooking ball hooks, he would take a lighter house ball off the rack and no thumb it because he couldn't really hang on to it. So he'd just no thumb it and spin it because it wouldn't hook. And so he used lighter ones so that he could actually kind of keep them online and whatever else. So yeah,
basically.
Yeah, he bought a ball with he bought a strike ball that got drilled with 3 fingers, and then he ordered an 11-pound Hammerflage with 2 fingers to shoot at his spares with. And the pro shop guy in me is like, oh no, we're gonna fix this. And they're like, look, we're not very good. We bowl on the base when we have time, and we just do this for fun. So it was like, this is what I want. I'm like, okay, well, I'll hook you right up. And they were happy, and they had plenty of fun, and they enjoyed it, and everything was great. And so sometimes you just have to give people what they want. But the people that do want to get better, you have to try to steer them in the right direction, because a lot of times people don't understand what they're talking about. And that's not a knock on, because ignorance is not a dirty word. Ignorant just means you don't know something.
Yeah.
People have started using it to mean you're stupid or something like that, but that's not actually what it means. Being stupid and just not knowing something are 2 different things.
Well, and some people can hear it, but not fully understand what it means. We were talking about that last night with different terminology, that people wouldn't understand what a certain word meant in a review. And they're like, well, that's not what the ball's doing. It's like, you don't understand what it means quite yet.
Yeah.
They're just not there.
Right.
Yeah, and so
that guy still sounds like the adult male going into the house, grabbing a 6-pound house ball to chuck it down the lane.
Well, I mean, if you leave a lily, that's perfectly understandable.
Yeah.
Can you put the bumpers up? Yeah, why did they stop making cool-looking spare balls? The interesting thing about that is that spare balls are actually very expensive to make, and they make them in China.
Yeah.
Because there's only one plant in the world, apparently, that can make plastic balls, because there's something weird that goes into them. So the mixes, the ices, whatever else, all the clear balls are made in China. I think Motive is the only one that makes, but they're not even really quote unquote plastic balls.
Polythene.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're either very weak urethane or
aren't
Sniper.
Poly. How come those aren't made over here? I wonder.
Well, it's still just a process that they do for them, and I think that some of them can be made in Mexico at the Brunswick plant.
And ours are made here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got our nice little stamp that says "Made in the USA" on
Yeah.
it, baby.
For some reason, I was thinking, like you're saying, with the plastic, but I would think with like the mixes.
There was that guy. I got big hands, and when I picked up bowling, now 26
which
with
is the
spans,
same thing that
5
Motive
inches.
is.
Proof shop uppers.
So,
Yeah.
Normal span,
But
been there
maybe
to
it's just
213
because
or
it's
212 plus at people's houses.
Yeah.
Still, that's not bad at all. Jonathan, that's not bad at all. It's weird to say my own name and somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like if you walk up to a guy and say Luke to Luke.
Yeah,
Isn't that
yeah.
kind of weird?
Yeah. Justin Thompson's son's name is Luke, and it's just weird to hear.
it's more funny when he puts up the back and forth between Dad, Luke,
Yeah.
or whatever, because I think of you saying
Yeah,
it. And
yeah.
sometimes it actually is so dead on accurate. I am dying laughing.
Mhm.
Beat is a 9. Hold everybody. Bring back the ball and the rose balls. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Beauty's in the eye of the
Give it,
beer holder.
lay another hard truth on us here. What do you got?
All
Fire
right. handicap. That's my favorite one.
Oh, here we go.
Bowlers can't do math.
I can't.
So I'm going to make this short because we talked about it a bunch. But you have to have if you didn't have handicap, or if you had scratch events, nobody would show up. You know how I know that? Because there are no scratch events anymore. Because scratch
Tour
bowlers,
KC holds one a year. The annual scratch
That's the
event.
lowest entry one.
Yeah, it's always the lowest entry one because nobody wants to bring their big boy pennies out and actually, bowl somebody else scratch. So they'd rather bowl handicap tournaments because they know they have the advantage until they get tanked by some handicap and then they complain about it. But they're bowling the handicap tournaments because they know that they're better. Mentally, they know that they have the advantage. Getting beat, you're going to get beat by some handicap every once in a while, but you're going to get beat by some scratch bowlers shooting a massive set anyway. Like the Olathe doubles that we just bowled a couple weekends ago, and Shea Bittenbender averaged 255. And it's like you're not going to beat that, whether you have handicap or whatever else. I mean, he won the singles by like 100 pins or something. Over all the handicap and over all the scratch and whatever else. When we average 255 for the day, when you go plus 440 or whatever it was for 8
at
games.
Olathe, you just tip your cap, man.
Yeah, especially Olathe. So you're just not going to beat that. And so whether it's handicap or whether it's a scratch bowler, a lot of scratch bowlers like to say, well, yeah, but that's actual skill. That's not somebody walking in there with a crap load of handicap. But at the same time, you have somebody that, and I always say that if
he was
handicap,
there the day that I took second. They have bad days too.
Yeah, on Sheeta or Chameleon.
But with his skill, it's still amazing that he at least won. I guess he was fifth because you beat him.
Mm-hmm. Luke snapped him off.
Yeah,
dead last.
He just has a lot of skill.
Brian, it
happens.
Amazing.
But I've just gotten used to, bowling association tourney, top 4 bowlers were scratch bowlers. Dead last guy is a scratch bowler. Yeah, and if you look at most of the time,
I was almost dead last in Ward Parkway, so I get it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of parity. You see a couple handicap bowlers, and you see a couple scratch bowlers, couple handicap bowlers, whatever else. The idea is to make it competitive for everybody and to give you big tournaments to go bowl in the first place. If they were all just handicap or all just scratch, I mean, you're not going to go, man, you two look like you need a beer. Yeah, I'm actually.
Man, we just finished one.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he didn't tune in when he was getting roasted.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another.
Don't go back and
he
watch
just says, here, I'll take care of you.
Well, I see it, and I want to keep the stream moving so we can get out of here on time.
Yep. There's another one. Trying to go jelly donut. Can you see that okay? There you go.
So anyway, this is what I always say to scratch bowlers. It's like, if you just get better, then handicap doesn't really matter, because if you have a tournament that's like our shootouts or 80% of 220, if you average 240, you're so much like a Trevor coming in. Every once in a while, he gets beat by a Jeremy Nickel.
The legendary.
The legendary Jeremy Nickel.
He is
but
legendary.
Quite often we have scratch bowlers win our tournaments.
It does happen.
So Trevor has won a couple. Bayton's won one and finished second in another one.
Bayton won the very first one of the season, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's his name from Salina that goes to Kansas Wesleyan? Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb something or other.
I have still yet to
He
win.
won.
The file.
He
I
had
have
one
all of them.
pin.
I have still yet to
Okay, I'm
win
gonna
one.
go
Jesse won one. Ashton Bigger won the last one, and so most of the time
He didn't really have to much competition.
Yeah.
But snapped off.
But-
off the win.
Yeah, and so when you really think about it, sometimes it's a grind and sometimes you get knocked out by handicap. But most of the time, the scratch bowlers are going to come out on top. And a lot of handicap events are really just an excuse to get a bigger field so that you can get into the side action, which is what the scratch bowlers are there for most of the time. They're there for the side action. Everybody else is there for the tournament.
And I think if you look at the top 16 in points list, a big chunk of them are scratch or darn near all scratch.
Yeah. And anybody that has like under 10 pins, I don't really consider that getting handicapped because it doesn't really help out that much.
Yeah.
Every once in a while it does.
As of right now, I'm going to catch Haley in first match.
But using Haley as an example, if she didn't bowl lights out at Gage Center all the time,
And that's
Sometimes
where I
that
don't
happens.
want to catch her.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
But-
to catch her there.
Yeah.
So
no.
Haley averages 140. She just got into bowling last year.
I think, I think this is her third year.
Second or third, yeah.
Something like that. But anyway, the difference between her average and 220 is basically 80 pins. You take 80% of that, so that's 16 pins.
Right.
So 64. So she gets 64 sticks added on to her 140 average. That's only a 204.
Right.
So she has to bowl so much further above her average to keep up. She has to bowl around 160 just to keep up with 220 average bowlers bowling their average. And if you average 240 like her boyfriend does, he's going to shoot 240 more often than not. She's going to have to shoot 180s to keep up with him, which she does there, but that's a different story.
And I just sold her before because I threw pretty much most of
Oh
the
my
storm
God.
stuff before I moved over. So she's just got a phase 2 from me. So she's going to end up catching me in the top 16 and beating me with it. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. So.
Hard truth. My wife is sitting in
I saw
Sunday
that.
school wondering where I am right now. Church is starting. Catch you guys later.
See, man.
Yep. It's all good. You can watch the rest of it. Hopefully we won't be on for too much longer because we got to go do a heckin' domination.
Want some bowling and some
Yeah.
food and some beers.
Probably won't get a shot rainforest or whatever. I'll probably forget we're coming, but
Did you ask Sig to do it?
oh yeah, we got it all set up. That doesn't mean anything.
Last-
It's actually
He's
gonna
the
get
one that
done.
actually boxed it last time. So hopefully we get it going.
So anyway,
Both breeds don't.
yeah.
And Jared Freed won one too. Yeah. that's right.
Backstage bowling has Mike Shady, Shannon O'Keefe, Brian O'Keefe.
Isn't that all tied to inside bowling? A little bit?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
tied to Mike Flanagan is involved. So Backstage Bowling is a kind of an online coaching thing where you subscribe and you pay a certain amount every month, and it's really not that expensive, like $15 a month or something. And you get world-class elite training, through video chat and things like that. So
Good question for you there, unless you want to stay in hard truths. But what advice would you recommend a young bowler just getting off a missed 300? Mine is they'll keep coming. Just keep your head up. So.
It is one of those times. It's one of those things that you feel like it's a pretty big moment, but the older you get, the more you realize things happen pretty often, and time starts going faster, and things start running together a little bit more. And so you find yourself, if you keep putting yourself there, you're going to find yourself in more and more situations. And sometimes you just fall into them, and other times, you get 4 or 5 strikes into a game, and you're like, I'm doing it this game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like sometimes it's like it's happening.
You know when it's going to happen. Let's just say that. The one I had a couple weeks ago, I knew it was going to happen right there. So
Hard truth. Yeah.
yeah, I knew it.
Yeah. There's
I had the
There's
entire
just-
lane. I knew it was going to happen.
there's just sometimes you get the buzz. Hard truth, the nuclear cell is ugly. I don't really like orange. Orange is not bad.
I'm a Broncos fan, so I like orange.
Oh,
So
God.
I know.
Broncos.
I need to show you my Broncos shoes. if you haven't seen
Broncos
them.
and boneless wings. God.
Keep working at it. You get
All
done. What,
So-
what's another hard truth you got? You see,
Yeah.
looks like you had a list of them here.
Yep. Getting rid of a ball quickly. This is something that when you're on
Oh.
staff, you go through balls a lot quicker, but I cannot stand seeing people getting on Facebook groups and saying, okay, the ball's got two games on, just didn't match up with me, I'm selling it.
How do you know?
So, yeah, I'm like, how do you know by 2 games? I haven't even warmed up in 2 games.
Well, the cover's not even broken in at that time.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to get the factory surface off the ball, whether it's
Yeah.
sanded or whether it's shiny.
Yeah.
You have to develop a track in the ball first to figure out what it's going to do. So it has to have a minimum of 3 to 5 games just to kind of get basically broken in. Every ball needs about 20 to 30 games to figure out exactly what you have with it. You can't pull a ball right out of the box and think, oh, this ball isn't really working out, and get rid of it in 2 games. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, especially when people complain about how expensive bowling is and how expensive bowling balls are, and then you're getting rid of a ball in 2 games. That's ridiculous. That's just stupid. I'm sorry.
The Venom Shock is a huge example of that. You pull that ball
Mhm.
fresh out of the box, it hooks a ton.
Yeah.
Especially the new ones, they hook a ton. But they after about 15 to 20 games or so, they tame down. They start to be real smooth and it's you can't 2 to 5 games. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I've seen people it's got 8 games on it, and like did you throw out in practice session one day and rolled in this one place? How do you know it's not going to match up over here?
Mhm. And
So-
we go through balls pretty. There's a lot of times that you're building up a pretty big motive collection. I've got a pretty big. We've got a bunch of stuff down there, and so I can't really afford to give stuff as much time as I would like to.
Yes.
Something like that, and eventually you kind of figure out, especially sticking with one company, you figure out, well, I don't really match up with this core that well, or I don't like this cover that well, or whatever, and so.
You're going to see a lot of the same shapes.
The Tornado Pearl is a perfect example for me of it rolled great in the review, and then I got it out, and it just wouldn't. I couldn't strike. I couldn't get the pins down. It rolled great.
Or
Couldn't
the
get the
Nano
pins
Pearl?
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, whatever. And then the night that I shot the 300 is
Okay, maybe this ball's okay.
That was the last chance I was giving the ball before it went back in the box. I'm
Yep.
like, this thing rolls so great. And then it started getting wet at Westridge, and I thought, okay, well, it hooks a bunch. We're getting into winter. They're starting to get, wet and lazy and whatever else. I'm like, this is the last chance I'm giving this ball.
Right.
Because it just doesn't knock the pins down.
Right.
And of course, I shoot 300 that night, and it's never left my bag since. So,
Yeah, you bring it everywhere now, don't you?
so yeah.
And then you-
Too.
What's
That's
that?
it. Both that ball and the
Yeah.
UC2 are the balls that go absolutely everywhere.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Mhm.
Isn't the Nano Pearl the one you threw all day in Wichita with me when we bowled?
Mhm.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, the average 230 something with. So, you just have to give some balls a chance, and other balls, I might actually take the parallax effect again today, but it's one of those that just the shape of it just doesn't work out. The parallax is ridiculous, but the parallax effect, just the shape doesn't. It hooks a bunch, and so I have to kind of dump it. When I dump it, it straightens out, and so it's one of those things that it hooks too much for how much it shapes, and it doesn't help me out in the shape department at all. So it's one of those that I know
I'm gonna
that
say, I
just
can't throw it. I would splits.
That's another
Yeah.
thing, though, you see about, well, it's a little different for you on the storm side because you've got roto. You've got roto, now global, and
Mhm.
storm, so you're going to see a little bit different shapes. But with being with one company, you see a lot of the same shapes and a lot of things. I mean, granted, they're going to shape a little different each ball, but it's because of the covers and core combinations. But
yeah.
You're gonna see a
You
lot of
kind of know what you're getting.
Just what
It's
James
not
was
such a
saying.
wide-
Yeah. Tornado Pearl out of the box, whatever. Phase 2, again, yeah, we call it the ASIM phase 2 because it always is just nuts out of the box, and it really settles down in the first 30 games. Idle Synergy, you have to break that cover shine. It comes out of the box super, super crazy marble glossy, and you have to break that gloss to get it to actually read the rain. Read the rain. Rain Man here all of a sudden. Read the lane correctly. So yeah, IQ Tornado Pearl becoming a favorite, was ready to bench until you suggested getting more games on it. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's exactly what I did. Is I just kept giving it a chance and kept giving it a chance, and eventually the cover settled in, and now it's great because it still is earlier, but it's a little bit smoother and more controllable. So
I sold mine to Trevor, so I'm curious to see how it
yeah,
looks like.
he actually I talked to him at the shootout last week.
Mhm.
He threw it a little bit, and he said, "Yeah, I really like this one." He's like,
Yeah.
"This is the best one that they've come out with in a while." So
And it's funny he says that because he strongly dislikes storm stuff.
yeah.
Well, he got it because of you.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's what I told him. I said, you're going to like this ball. And he likes it. And he's still throwing the big bowling stuff a lot. But
yeah, it's just what he's comfortable with.
so, yeah, anyway, getting rid of a ball, you have to give it time. You can't just decide, oh, in 5 games, I'm done with it. That's just the dumbest
That
thing.
could be a hard truth and a pet peeve.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like the baseball glove analogy or a softball bat or
Yes.
whatever else. The crazy things people will do to break in a glove or a bat. And it's just, and nobody does that with a bowling ball. They complain about how expensive they are, but then they don't give it any time. So it just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, we got one. Two more.
Yeah. Egos.
Uh-oh.
You throw a heavy ball.
Where's
Yeah.
I'm not going to drop my phone.
You're throwing a heavy
Yeah.
round ball at weird looking little white sticks.
It reminds me of Robin Williams' thing on golf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just substitute.
Well,
It's just
Mhm.
chill out.
Yeah. And there's,
yeah.
I can guarantee you that there's every single person on the planet is better than you at something. So just because you're a better bowler than they
No
are
doubt, yeah.
doesn't mean any, and it doesn't even have to be, it doesn't have to be anything special, but they're better than you at something. So thinking that you're a hot shot because you're good at knocking down weird looking white sticks,
You and I have talked about this in the past.
Yeah. It's like just drop the. And some people don't actually have egos. They're just really, really into something. I don't think that I'm special because I have a bunch of bowling balls and have a YouTube channel. I'm just really into it. I'm a bowling nerd. I don't have an ego.
You are pretty special, though.
That aside, I do have my shirt.
A special ginger.
Yeah,
There you go.
Pretty special. Cat riding a llama with a unicorn
I
horn.
didn't realize it was riding a llama.
Yeah, it's riding a llama. Yeah, that's actually a llama, but with or a camel.
Oh, right, like that.
Yeah.
Anything with unicorns.
Yeah.
Well, unicorn horns. How about that? Will Storm drop the nuke anytime soon? I don't know.
Probably. I don't know.
Egos. Oh yeah.
That's why we started stocking up on stuff.
That's a good hard truth. Egos. Yeah. I mean, every bowler's got an ego.
Yes.
Some sort. I'm sorry.
James makes a very interesting point. The IQ Tornado Pearl is far easier to understand if you totally ignore the fact that it's a Pearl cover stock. That's also a pet peeve is cover stock designators. Because somebody was asking me what the difference was in the.
Yeah, because it comes with surface out of the box too.
Yeah, they were asking me the difference between the Tour Solid and the Tour Nano Pearl. I'm like, well, the Tour Nano Pearl is earlier and smoother, even though it's a pearl, and the Tour Solid is a solid. They're very different cover formulas. NRG is a lot earlier and stronger than R2S,
right.
So therefore you have a pearl being earlier and smoother than the solid.
Yeah.
So.
We got another one. Did you get another one on there?
Yep. Ball pricing.
Oh.
Everybody, we had a little discussion, debate, argument on Facebook here recently about that, is that people don't seem to understand how much stuff costs. They think that staffers get everything for free and that nothing costs anything. And
or it's so ridiculous, like you could get one for $20 or something.
Yeah.
Like, no.
When it comes to the staff thing, people just jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
Because you slap the name on there that it's just, he gets everything free.
Yeah, somebody was on one of the bowling groups selling a Parallax for $155 shipped.
Was that drilled?
Which
or
is
brand new, I mean?
Yeah, it's brand new and shipped. And somebody said, well, even at that price, they're still making a pretty good profit. I'm like, no, at that price, if you order it from a distributor and you sell it to somebody and you ship it for $155, you're literally losing money.
Yeah.
You're literally losing money because people don't understand the cost from distributors and to staffers. They think it's, oh, yeah, you're on staff, you get everything for free. Actually, no, it's quite a bit more expensive to be on staff because, I mean, I can guarantee you that you guys have spent more money.
It's been a lot.
Since he's been on staff.
It's been a lot.
Now, yeah, because if you're on staff, they kind of expect you to buy everything.
You buy.
Yeah, so you get one of everything, number one, and then you find the ones that you like, and it's like, well, let's try a different layout, or let's stash a couple of these, or whatever else. And all of a sudden, you spent thousands of dollars on bowling balls,
and then they
even
slap
though
you
you're
with 2 new
on
ones in
staff
2
and
weeks.
everything's cheap or free. Yeah.
And then they throw the international market at you. And they're like, but that was prettier.
Oh, the new Raptor from Canada. I want it so bad.
Yeah.
But I'm not spending $300 on it.
Yeah.
The international ball market, we have a bunch of balls that have cost a lot of money. And yeah, there's an extra pet peeve thing that I might spend an entire episode talking about, but boy, it must be nice.
We should do pet peeves. Have we done pet peeves yet?
Yeah, we've done
Yeah, we
pet
did. That was
peeves,
like our
but we
second
can do part 2. It was pretty popular, so we might have to do it again.
Part 2, should we do that with?
Actually,
yeah.
Do it with James because he wants to rant about cover stocks again, apparently.
So we should do, if we
That's
go
what we
to
do next week.
we could do a stream, a
Yeah.
grind stream at Norseman.
Yeah, we can go.
peeves.
Yeah, we can go to Norseman and we can get wings and we can hang out.
They don't
and
have
do a pet
boneless.
peeve stream. Yeah.
I'm moving out.
Yeah. Wow.
We'll
But they
bring you
do
your
have
little
the.
kitty bag of boneless wings.
Oh.
Yeah, they have
sorry.
the lingonberry jam. I never heard of lingonberries, but apparently it's a thing. I want that phase flow. Go get my phase flow.
No.
I want to show it off. I know it's time that we get off here and start wrapping this thing up
Oh, it
because
is
we got to
now.
go.
Yeah.
We will probably turn on.
You did hit all your pet peeves, or your
Yeah, I got them all.
the truth.
I got them all. So the hard truth, basically on the hard truth is you can always get better. You can always practice more. You can always be more. Bowlers are not honest with themselves. They always like to blame something else. But most of the time you can tell when carry's your fault. Practice can be carried carry can be practiced. I got that completely backwards.
Yeah.
Carry, yeah, close enough. Everybody understood what I meant.
We're good.
Carry can be practiced. because bad carry is most of the time a product of you being in the wrong part of the lane, throwing the wrong ball the wrong way. Bad carry is a product of several different things that you're doing wrong. So if the ball's not going through the pins right, there's a lot of things that you're doing wrong, not just one or two things. You're doing everything wrong. So
are you planning on streaming a little bit while we post bowl?
yeah, I think we'll because it shouldn't. Yeah.
Sorry. We're gonna stream a little bit while we post bowl. I think we're bowling.
We're gonna get Amanda all nervous.
I think we're post bowling 11 Central.
Yeah, we're post bowling at 11 Central, and so we need to wrap this thing up there and
come hang out and chat with us. And
is there bowling on TV today or no?
No.
Okay.
They do not start until Friday.
So I don't.
So yeah, there's Masters qualifying.
We can also chit chat about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because is this our new day other than tournament days? Is this?
Yeah, Sunday is going to be our new Rise and Grinds day. We're going to do it next Friday just because he's off and James is going to be here and we're bowling all weekend.
And it's Easter Sunday. So
yeah, so Sunday is going to be our new time. If we don't have tournaments or anything else going on, we will have Rise and Grinds on Sunday mornings now, and probably follow it up with brunch more often than not.
Yeah. My daughter may make an appearance in one or two.
Yeah. We were hoping she was going to make an appearance this morning.
That kind of changed plans yesterday.
Yeah.
That's okay.
She got time to spend with her cousins yesterday. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's take away to get it.
And I got sleep.
Oh yeah.
We were
9 o'clock, we were out.
Yeah.
Not long after I texted you, we went to bed.
Yeah.
I think the Forge Fire and the nuke. Don't talk about the Forge Fire.
Yeah.
I love that boat. I'm sorry.
Thanks for the UC2. My brother loves it better than his nuke and hasn't shot lower than the 650 with it. And yeah, the UC2 is special. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that deal, by the way, too. We got a virtual tour exclusive that's pretty sweet.
Add me on Facebook. I'm in the Discord.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, you can follow Jonathan, and we bowl most of the same stuff anyway. So if
Reach
you're
out.
seeing one of us, we'll. So the Jelly Donut IPA was fabulous.
You talk a lot because I didn't let mine go to waste.
Okay. Jelly Donut IPA.
But you gonna come? You want to before we sign out? Do you want to say hi to the peeps?
Yeah, she'll say hi.
Yeah. Yeah. It says IPA and it's just
I
not.
love my versatile tour
Yeah.
exclusive.
Yeah, the donut ones are actually really good. So when he drank them all, I'm like, we were supposed to share. And he's like, well,
Yeah.
I like them. I'm like,
Yeah, she asked me. Yeah, she asked me 3 weeks later.
I
You
like
still
IPA.
have any of those? I'm like, no.
So excited to be back. Looking forward to seeing you all next Friday. We'll see you for those that'll watch the stream here in a little bit. So,
Yeah, we'll be.
see you there.
Hopefully, it'll be bright and shiny, and they'll have the doors open at Norseman, and we'll be in there having some real wings and some other stuff they have.
You can also go to luke.bowlinglives.com, right?
Yeah.
And
Heck and urethane, Panda Pack patches. Yeah, I know. I've completely
pick up some
forgot
Heck and
about
Urethane
that.
t-shirts and pick up the Panda Pack patches. Some of the proceeds from the Panda Pack patches go to Positive Tails KC, correct?
Positive Tails
Yes,
KC.
thank
I've
you.
got to show a picture of
There
Briggy
we
here
go.
real quick.
I have to do my part every week.
I got the one that's updated that has the before and after. Hold on, use mine.
Yeah, that's what I've
They're
seen
pretty
that
cool.
too.
If I had mine with me, I would show you a picture of it.
Okay.
There we go.
So we're going to try. There was this one on Positive Tails Dog Rescue.
Here.
Briggy, she was abused, and you can see how skinny she was. They've had her for about 3 weeks, and they've kind of gotten her back to health a little bit here. And so this is a lot of what they do. So this.
And her story is basically she was in. They think she was actually in a cage because dogs that are typically
Pretty good.
Yeah, they're
malnourished
wild.
like this, they find rocks and different things
Oh,
in
you
their
did
stomach for trying to find food.
Hang on.
Yeah.
She did not have that. No. So
Yeah, I don't
they
know.
think that she was actually pinned up, caged up, locked up something, and actually forbidden food.
No, we're almost done anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hers is a heartbreaking story.
Yeah, that's
Camera's
pretty
done too.
pretty bad.
Yeah. But actually the vet that is taking care of her is one of the vet techs that is actually fostering
Yeah,
her
that's
right
actually going to get
now.
her.
So she's getting a
She
lot
was
of
so skinny.
good care. She's
Yep.
fantastic. She understands what it takes to build up someone.
Yeah, so that's what we help out with. And if you're buying a Panda Pack patch from loop.bowlinglabs.com. You're helping support them too, and we've had a couple of fundraisers and
Because we
stuff.
have it on the
So.
general side. If you join
Yeah.
Discord, we
Mhm.
do fundraisers for Positive Tales on the side.
Yep.
Yeah, we do. So instead of just the big live streams that we do some bowl ruffles every once in a while. So.
And James actually just posted in the chat a little bit ago before he took off
Mhm.
the link for the Discord. So head over and join the Discord as well. We're all in there. Luke's in there. Angel's in there. My wife Amanda's in there, even though she doesn't want to show her face in here. And
Yeah.
You're going to show all of you later.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna get to see us all later. So
Yeah.
appreciate hanging out. I'm excited to be back.
Can you go home real quick, guys?
We'll do this.
Yeah.
We'll do this again on Friday. So
Mhm.
it should be a fun episode with the three of us.
Yeah. Should be a lot. Yeah, we'll do pet peeves #2, and we'll talk a lot about cover.
We should
stock
just call it-
investigators. Yeah.
Two tall guys in a midget.
Yeah. 2.5 men.
Yeah. So
That's better.
Yeah.
I got to get a T-shirt for the Heckin' Doggos.
Yep. All right. We will. Thanks everybody. We'll see you later. Here in just a little bit. We'll go post bowl, and then we're gonna go to brunch. So
Yum.
see y'all later.
Are we taking your